So if you're here, then chances are you love The Last of Us. Maybe you've played the game or watched the show. But either way, you're recaptivated by the journey of Joel and Ellie through a post-apocalyptic world, ravaged by a devastating fungal infection. And you already know how their story is one of resilience, hope, and an unbreakable bond between a hardened smuggler and a teenage girl who might be humanity's last hope. But what if I told you that there is so much more to this iconic duo and their struggle for survival than meets the eye? Because if you look closely, you'll find a treasure trove of secrets, hidden meanings and details that will make you see the characters, the story and the world around them in a whole new light. So get ready for a wild ride, because today, we're going to dive into the deepest, darkest corners of The Last of Us and uncover the truth behind the things you never noticed. From the haunting backstories of the Fireflies to the terrifying origins of the infection itself, we're pulling back the curtain on everything that makes The Last of Us such a thrilling, heartbreaking, and unforgettable experience. Trust me, you won't want to miss this. So sit tight and get ready to discover the truth behind the things you never noticed in The Last of Us. The first thing you never noticed in The Last of Us is that each character has a secret story waiting to be uncovered. Whether it's the mysterious Marlene, the ruthless hunters, or even the innocent-looking Ellie, every character in the game has a backstory that adds depth and complexity to their motivations. For example, you might remember meeting a character named Sam in the game who seems like just another victim of the outbreak at first. But as you play, you realize that he's more than just a mindless runner. He's a young boy struggling to survive and protect his brother. His actions, his dialogue, and even his facial expressions hint at the trauma he's endured and the strength he's found in his brotherly bond. And as you progress through the game, you'll encounter other characters who seem ordinary but have their own unique stories to tell. These characters might not be as prominent as Joel or Ellie, but they just as important in shaping the game's narrative and exploring the complexities of the post-apocalyptic world. Their stories might unfold through dialogue, environmental storytelling, or even subtle details like photographs or belongings. Each piece of their story contributes to the richness of the world and helps you understand the impact of the outbreak on ordinary people. So keep an eye out for the small things and listen carefully to the conversations around you, because you never know what kind of story you might uncover next in The Last of Us. The second thing you probably didn't notice is the terrifying inspiration behind the infected themselves. From the terrifying stalkers to the relentless clickers, the infected in The Last of Us are some of the most memorable and terrifying creatures in gaming history. But what if I told you that they're based on something that's all too real? The Cordyceps fungus is a parasitic organism that attacks ants, taking control of their bodies and turning them into zombies. This fungus has a profound impact on the behavior of its host, causing them to act natural until it's ready to spread. Once activated, the fungus instructs the ant to act natural, tricking its colony mates into thinking everything's all right. When it's ready to spread, the corpus then takes over the ant's body, turning it into a fruiting body that releases even more spores into the world, starting the process all over again. This process is both terrifying and fascinating, and the game developers at Naughty Dog took this real-world phenomenon and turned it into something truly terrifying for players to experience. As you navigate through the post-apocalyptic world, you'll encounter different types of infected, each with its own unique abilities and behaviors. But they all share one thing in common: the chilling reminder that they were once human beings infected by the same fungus that's terrorizing the world around you. So as you fight to survive against the infected in The Last of Us, remember that you're up against something truly terrifying, a relentless force that's capable of turning its victims into mindless zombies. The third thing you probably didn't notice is the complex relationship between Joel and Ellie. From the moment they meet, their relationship is fraught with tension, mistrust, and conflicting perspectives on the world around them. Joel, a hardened smuggler who's seen his fair share of tragedy, is reluctant to take on the responsibility of protecting Ellie. Meanwhile, Ellie, raised in a world where she's been constantly on the run, struggles to understand Joel's motivations and decision-making process. As they journey together, however, they begin to open up to each other, sharing stories of their past and revealing the vulnerabilities that lie beneath their tough exteriors. Joel, despite his gruff demeanor, shows a surprising amount of care and concern for Ellie, going out of his way to protect her and ensure her safety. Similarly, Ellie brings a sense of innocence and hope to Joel, reminding him of a time before the apocalypse when life was simpler and people weren't constantly fighting for survival. Overall, the relationship between Joel and Ellie is one of the most compelling aspects of The Last of Us. It's a slow burn that simmers beneath the surface for much of the game before finally boiling over into something truly powerful. If you look beyond their initial interactions and pay attention to the subtle cues that the game gives you, you'll see that their relationship is far from what it first appears to be. It's a complex, nuanced, and deeply affecting exploration of two people who come together in the most unlikely of circumstances and form an unbreakable bond. The fourth thing you probably didn't notice is the game's commentary on societal collapse and survival. The world of The Last of Us is one that's been completely transformed by a devastating pandemic. Society as we know it has collapsed, and the remnants of humanity are struggling to survive. In a world that's been overrun by the infected, in the midst of this chaos, people are forced to make difficult decisions and take extreme measures to stay alive, sometimes resorting to violence, theft, or even cannibalism. As you play the game, you'll witness firsthand the impact of the outbreak on everyday people and see how they adapted to the new world around them. The characters you encounter will be dealing with the same challenges as you, trying to find food, shelter, and safety in a world where nothing is guaranteed. You'll also see how the breakdown of society has affected their behavior and decision-making, forcing you to confront the realities of what it would be like to survive in such a world. Overall, The Last of Us is a game that doesn't shy away from the harsh realities of survival in a post-apocalyptic world. It's a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the lengths people will go to in order to stay alive. By paying attention to the details in the game's world and the characters that inhabit it, you'll see that this isn't just a thrilling action game, but a thought-provoking exploration of what it means to be human in the face of unimaginable circumstances. If you've made it this far, then you're clearly a fan of The Last of Us and all the hidden details that make it such a masterpiece. But now it's time to test your knowledge and see how much you really remember. I've got 5 questions that will put your knowledge of the game to the ultimate test. So gather your wits and get ready to take on the ultimate Last of Us quiz. The fate of humanity might just depend on it. And there you have it, folks. The Last of Us is more than just a thrilling post-apocalyptic adventure. It's a game that stays with you long after you've finished playing it. From the haunting backstories of its characters to the terrifying origins of the infected, The Last of Us is a game that rewards close attention and a curious mind. So what do you think? Did you notice any of these things on your first playthrough? And what's your favorite character in the game? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into your favorite games. Till next time, happy hunting and stay safe out there.